Hi, I'm Kimberly Brunetto, and this is my pros and cons speech about pit bulls. The media has put a lot of energy into telling the world stories about pit bulls, mostly when they're bad. I personally see pit bulls as being good dogs, but I guess it all depends on who your owner is. If your owner is good and gives you lots of attention and treats, then your pit bull will probably be very friendly. If your owner doesn't care and is bad and trains you for fighting, your pit bull will probably have a lot of anger. According to the Animal Legal Defense Funds, it's come to the point where people don't trust pit bulls that Southfield in Southgate, Michigan, and Eupora, Mississippi have banned having pit bulls live there. My first pro is that pit bulls are very people-friendly. My brother-in-law has a pit bull, and his name's Tucker, and he wouldn't hurt anything. He, of course, is very big, and you know the pit bulls have big heads, so when he opens his mouth, it's huge. So some people, I can see how they get scared of that, but I know Tucker, and I know he wouldn't hurt anyone. They like to jump around and have fun, and occasionally he barks, but we just know that's protective, like all dogs do that. He jumps around just to have fun, and he plays with all the other dogs just perfectly fine. Also, my friend Elena has a dog named Maisie, and she's a pit bull, and whenever I go to her house, all I get is barked at, which is normal for any sort of dog to bark at anyone when they come to their door. A con is, according to the Missouri Pit Bull Rescue website, pit bulls can be aggressive when other animals and people are around. Pit bulls have been bred to fight for hundreds of years. They'll have fighting matches, pit bulls die, it's horrible. Pit bulls have been called game dogs for their fighting. And according to the sfgate.com, in 2005, a 12-year-old boy in San Francisco was home alone with his two pit bulls, Ella and Rex. The dogs ended up killing him by mauling him to death. When the mom arrived back home from where she was, she called the police, which they ended up needing to shoot Ella because the police couldn't get inside because she wouldn't let them in by barking and sipping and everything. Rex was caught in the backyard by the police officers, and when the people talked to the neighbors, they said that the dogs would bark at them and sometimes chase them, so they were mean to them sometimes, but sometimes they're very nice and let them pet them and just acted like any normal dog. And then when they talked to the pit bull's vet, he said that he never had a problem with Rex and Ella, and he was very surprised that they did this. They still don't know what came around with the dogs, and maybe the kid was torturing them or teasing them to the point where they just couldn't handle it anymore. A pro about pit bulls is that they're very strong and athletic. As I was talking about Tucker, he loved to run around with all the other dogs, and he loved to jump around and play tug of war. And another important thing about pit bulls is their jaw. If you've ever opened up a pit bull's mouth, it's like a lion. It's huge. They have very great jaw strength. They can have up to 1,500 pounds per square inch of jaw pressure. Another interesting thing is that their jaw doesn't lock. And you've ever heard of when a pit bull gets in a fight, they try to bite, and you'd think that it locks up there, but they just refuse to let go at times. Another con is, according to assortments.com, owning a pit bull may actually cancel your homeowner's insurance. Today, many insurance carriers today will not insure homeowners that own a pit bull. Maybe they're scared that anything might happen, so lately people are trying to not let people buy pit bulls, but that's not going to stop people And if you do own a pit bull, you might actually be required to purchase a separate insurance policy at a higher rate if you own a pit bull. In conclusion, I find that it's very disappointing to know that lawmakers and people in general make hasty decisions about an entire breed of dog based on a few tragic stories. Yes, that there might be some bad stories, but that's because their owners aren't taking care of them as well. It could be like that with any sort of dog. Like, my black lab dog could be mean just like all these pit bulls, but we take care of her so she's not. And since pit bulls are dogs, I feel like people will fall in love with them because dogs are very loving. But like for pit bulls, it's a lot harder because you need to take care of them and you need to remember that they do have very different mood swings. People think that they can handle a pit bull when, to be honest, some people just aren't. Is it the dog's fault that they have bad owners?